I'm pleased to sponsor the Alternative Interview.
And every time we talk about one of your goals, that Dean's going to find it and probably put it on.
Lovely.
So I've got here at the end of the 2007-2008 season, you won the goal of the season, National Game Awards, for a scissor kick in the home game against Histon. So you're obviously going to talk to me about that goal, because I'm sure he'll find it.
Oh, very nice. That'd be good, because that's one that I don't particularly have a very good video of. So fingers crossed.
Oh, right. Maybe he won't then.
Well, yeah, that's right. Exactly. So I'll have to talk you through it even more then, I suppose. But yeah, again, Histon was always a tough one. Live on Setanta, it was just a long throw that came in, and growing up as a young lad, I'd always scored really good goals. So I'd scored, the easier goals as well, but I'd always, for Basingstoke and Camberley, and scored some absolute, belters of goals. So it had been a little while since I'd properly scored a spectacular goal. And it just so happened that the ball fell kindly, and it was, I caught it absolutely perfectly on the scissor kick. I've got a really good photo of it actually, of me in midair just making connection with the ball. And it was one of those where then at the end of the season, there were some really good goals in the goal of the season competition. But at that point, I had as many Facebook followers as I could possibly get, and very much went on the marketing campaign of vote for me, please. And I think I'm sure that helped win it. But yeah, it's just, again, a nice significant goal. It's always nice to score a winner. Nice to win a goal of the season as well for the whole league. It meant that we got to go to the Emirates and enjoy some hospitality there in the end of season, Setanta end of season awards as well. So yeah, again, just nice to score those sorts of goals every now and then and get a bit of recognition for it at the end of what was ultimately a very disappointing season for us.
But the following season wasn't disappointing for yourself at Torquay, because you got to the Football League and you played a big part of it at Wembley. And you'd have to explain as well, because you got this sort of Zorro mask on when you're playing at Wembley against Cambridge United in the playoff final. You'd also got to the fourth round of the FA Cup, just losing narrowly to Coventry City. And, the seasons that fans cherish for years to come, which put you in high accolades with football supporters. And that was Torquay's season, and that must have been a special season for you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think when you're old and you're talking to the grandkids about what you achieved, I think that moment at Wembley will always be something that was up there with the most special things that ever happened. So yeah, I mean, it was another good season, like you say, even the FA Cup, and the FA Cup gave me so many good memories. Getting to the first round with Camberley, doing well a couple of times with Aldershot, getting to the third round with Hereford, getting to the third round of the FA Cup was something where you would sit there for the draw and you dream of pulling out a Man United or pulling out, a Liverpool or someone like that. And every single time I'd managed to do it, it was always disappointing. We always got someone rubbish. I remember Hereford, we got Bristol Rovers away. Torquay, we got Blackpool at home, then managed to beat them. So you're thinking, right, fourth round draw, even better, definitely going to get someone massive here, surely. And we got Coventry at home, which was disappointing. As much as, they were a good club, it was still very disappointing. We only just lost to them as well. So, FA Cup was very, very special for me as well. But ultimately, that season was all about promotion. I remember the season before, we'd gone to the FA Trophy final at Wembley and lost to Ebbsfleet, but we'd done it all. We'd gone up for like 5 days before. We'd worn suits and all that, really kind of made an occasion of it. And then the next season we got to Wembley in the playoff final, and everything was about business. There was nothing about let's make it an occasion. We went up 2 days before, as we probably normally would have done. We wore tracksuits. Nothing was particularly special about the day. It was all about winning the game. And then everything special can happen afterwards. And that's what we did. We performed very, very well that day, and came out deserved winners. And obviously I had my moment. I had the mask on. The mask was because in the last game of that season at home to Burton Albion, where we needed, I think we needed a point to get into the playoffs. I'd headbutted the back of someone's head with my cheek about 3 minutes in. I think it was Aaron Webster who used to play for Burton Albion, Ranelagh, I remember, whose head I headbutted. And I was in the most searing pain I've ever been in on a football pitch. Like, I actually thought I was going to be sick. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I wasn't concussed or anything. I was just in so much pain. But I ended up playing the whole 90 minutes. Got through it. I don't know how I managed to get through that one. I was in so much pain. Got a call the next day from my physio after getting a scan, who said that my season was over because I'd fractured my cheekbone in 3 places. At which point there was a bit of a trend at that time for people wearing masks when they'd got facial injuries. So I kind of said to him, look, any chance of the club sorting me out a mask? And they did. I think Paul Buckle really kind of pushed for it to happen. And I got a mask moulded and fitted at the hospital, which was a horrible experience, having clay poured all over your face. But yeah, so that was kind of why I was wearing the mask at Wembley. I had an operation as well after the semi-finals. So we played the 2 semi-finals against Histon. In between the semi-final and the final, I then went and had an operation to repair my cheekbone. And they kind of said, look, you can wear the mask. It's up to you if you want to do it at Wembley or not. But obviously, if it gets a knock, it might happen again. So I wore the mask as a precaution. And it became a bit iconic. I remember turning up to Wembley and thousands and thousands of Torquay fans there. And probably about half to 3/4 of them all had a homemade mask on, which was fantastic. And I don't know if it's a bit of trivia. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who scored at Wembley in a mask at the new Wembley, that's for sure. So you never know. I've still got a chance of making it onto Question of Sport as well, potentially.
Then by Carlisle, here's Benyon. Carlisle away to this right-hand side again for Torquay. The break is on. Danny Stevens in the penalty area if he stays onside. Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sills! Torquay United are close to the promised land. A 2-goal advantage with 15 minutes to go. They can start dreaming. Tim Sills, the man in the mask, with a Wembley goal.
Well, when it matters, it's all about delivery, and what a wonderful delivery that was from Wayne Carlisle. Yes, it was good, intelligent play by Elliot Benyon, just holding up the ball slightly, waiting for Wayne Carlisle to get wide of him. But Wayne Carlisle, as he gets there, he looks up, spots the run, and what a run it was from Tim Sills, but what a better header as well. And we talked about his heading ability. Absolutely perfect it was from Tim Sills. Knew exactly where he wanted to put it, and not a chance for Adam Bartlett at all in that goal. Full stretch, could not get anywhere near it. Look at the way he just guides it into that corner.
What's it feel like scoring at Wembley when you've won a game of that magnitude?
It's tough to describe. You scoring a goal at any time is just the biggest rush of adrenaline that you can have. It doesn't matter how easy it is, doesn't matter what part of the game it's in, doesn't matter if you're winning, losing, just scoring a goal is such a rush. So scoring a goal at Wembley in front of 34,000 and so many Torquay fans, your family are watching. That was all I could think of when I scored. I just could think about going and celebrating in front of my family. They were I had cousins, uncles, my wife and kids, my mum and dad's brothers, all there watching. And that was all I could think about when I scored, was just going and doing a Zorro celebration, or a backwards Zorro celebration, so it was an S rather than a Z. I mean, that's how much I thought about it in front of them. And it was just, I think the actual bit where it almost overwhelmed me was, I think it was like the 92nd minute, and we had a goal kick and I knew we'd won. And it was almost like the tears were coming up, and I had to take a deep breath and just kind of bring it all back down, because you knew you'd won. You'd won at Wembley, you'd scored at Wembley, you were going into the Football League with the club, another club that I absolutely loved and adored. Just the emotion is indescribable, I think. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but it's hard to put into words what scoring at Wembley is like. And I have to say, I talk about it now and people ask me about it, and I'm like, do I feel embarrassed about talking about it all the time? Absolutely not. Any time anyone wants to ask me about it, I'm happy to talk them through
it. Absolutely right as well. So it should be. So you with Torquay, you get into the Football League, but by the January you've joined Stevenage. So what happened there? Yeah,
now that's a whole other hour possibly. Obviously,
I told you we're only going to have an hour and all, didn't I? I think we've gone past.
That's all good. That's all good. So just went into the Football League with Torquay. I thought I was going to have finally get rid of that Football League hoodoo of not being able to do it in the Football League. And started all right. You know, we won our first game, then we went to Crystal Palace away in the League Cup, and I scored my first goal that season then. And scored some good goals that year. I scored against Aldershot in the league. Again, scored away at Notts County, scored away at Southampton in, I think it was the LD Vans Trophy. And, you know, as much as I wasn't scoring all the time or as regularly as I had been in previous seasons, I think by Christmas, you know, I probably only played sort of 50% of the games, and I think I'd got 5 or 6 goals. So I was still ready to kick on, I thought. But then things were happening off the pitch a little bit that weren't quite adding up in terms of my relationship with the manager. So myself and Paul Buckle, you know, completely away from football, clashed a little bit over things that were happening in his personal life, which I'm sure people are probably aware of, but I won't go into too much. And I got wrongly dragged into it. And our relationship soured a little bit because of that. And then we kind of just came to a natural conclusion where he got to January and he told me he thought my time at the club was up. It was probably one of those things, again, I'd love to have that sliding doors moment and have dug my heels in and just got to know, you know what, this is my club as well. And I really want to stay and fight for my place. I think I was fighting for a place with Scott Rendell at the time. And I always, again, you know, had to be confident in my own ability, thought I was a better striker than Scott Rendell as an all-round striker. So I thought I deserved to play. But in the end, Stevenage came in, made a good offer. Graham Wesley was always one of those that I thought I probably wouldn't go and play for, if I'm honest. You know, you had your certain managers that I wasn't ever sure if I'd want to play for, like Graham Wesley, maybe even Steve Evans, just because of what you kind of hear and the stories you get told. I had kind of been told he'd mellowed a bit, you know, as his career had gone on. So I decided to wrench myself away from Torquay and go and join another title challenge in the conference, as it was still at the time. And again, something, you know, I can't regret. I came away with a Champions medal from Stevenage. But, you know, it was a decision that if I look back on, I didn't particularly enjoy my time at Stevenage, so I'd rather have stayed at Torquay. But yeah, just kind of, I think things had soured a little bit in terms of off the pitch at Torquay. That meant that I kind of, you know, had to make that decision. And to be fair, Torquay still made a bit of money out of me from that as well. So it was nice to leave them with that little bit of money behind as well.
And so you spent that time with Stevenage, and by the January 2011, you're on your way back to Aldershot.
Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sills!
I was desperate to score a goal in the Football League for Aldershot. You know, I was disappointed I hadn't ever managed to do it in my first spell, having come so close to getting us there. Scoring it for Aldershot in the Football League was just magnificent. We should have won that game, actually. We were brilliant that day.